Okay, can you see my screen?
Uh,
It's on Skype.
Oh
yeah,
my
I'm screen
god.
share. I can see it.
Alright, good.
Yo, a master tier though.
Let's get past the pre-prep in the game. Where's my paint button? Here it is. We begin. Okay, so top lane, Kayle. Okay. Let me just memorize the team comp that your opponents are, you're up against. Okay, so oh fuck, piece of. Okay. You're against the Gnar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Gnar, Vi jungle. Single target pickoff is insane in your team versus where their team is burst down team fighting. Okay, in terms of team fighting, you guys have a lot of pick potential, which is key factor in keeping Vi and Syndra alive until they can get their burst off. Then followed by Twitch's consistent damage, and then Thresh's utility is just like he should be alive because he should be sitting in the back, not in the front. Difference between a good Thresh and a bad Thresh, but that shouldn't concern you. As for items and masteries, a lot of Kayles run different things. You should be running. You have multiple versions of masteries too. You can be running 2109, or you can be the hardcore player and you go 2703, and even more damage based 3000. It depends on the way you play the lane. Like if you're not comfortable on Kayle versus if you're just starting out with Kayle, and if you're really comfortable on Kayle, like not being comfortable on a champion versus not knowing the champion are two different things. Being uncomfortable with the champion means that you can play him, you just don't like playing him, versus being comfortable is like, okay, I can play him. And then not knowing what to do with the champion, that it's like, yeah, you're uncomfortable, but like it doesn't mean you hate playing the champion. You can have fun, like you can stop first time. Twitch isn't there, he doesn't need to be there. So if you're doing an invade, you want to lead and follow with Thresh. So you two should be walking together, because you have your range advantage since you leveled up E already. You don't want to level up your abilities right away, because for potential invades you have a slow. So with this ranged auto attack, you don't have hard forms of CC. Your Thresh decided to leave, so I mean picking this off is fine because he didn't choose to flash over the wall and escape, but keep track of your opponent's summoner spells in case that he did flash next time. So he's probably gonna have to teleport to lane, otherwise risk losing an entire wave. And level 2 advantage. Oh, he did teleport. Okay, so you can keep that in mind. He used teleport, which means for the next 4 minutes, around 6:09, he will not be able to join your team in like skirmishes, so dragons and stuff like that. And you have to know that you have teleport during that time, so you come up on top. This is good. You push the lane. It's very straightforward. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just that you have to know how to. Oh, you're already level 2 because you got the EXP bonus, right? So you can zone him by just walking up, queuing him, and throwing a few autos. You don't have to be afraid of anything because there's no way that your opponent can gank you. Yep, just keep doing that. But you don't wanna whittle your way through the minions too much. You don't want to fight him when your E is inactive, because then you're gonna be melee range, and that's even worse. Because then Gnar's ability to kite his opponents is very powerful. He's able to walk around and manipulate the minions so that they just hit you while your minions do nothing back in return. Because when you hit an enemy champion, you draw the minion aggro's you draw minion aggro to yourself. And the best way to disengage the minion aggro is to walk into the bush. So people walk into the bush, walk out of the bush, and constantly attack their opponents, harass them down, so that they avoid minion aggro and at the same time damage their opponents. So the closest bush to you is this bush right there. So you would be, if the lane is in the proper is like frozen right here, then you would be able to just manipulate the minions by, or manipulate the bush by walking in, walking out, autoing, walking in, walking out, autoing, and just repeating that. You don't want to auto in the bush because then you'll draw the minions' attention to the bush itself. And then because usually, because the bush de-aggroes the minions, like I said, so if you enter the bush, see how they just stop attacking you right there? Yeah, so you want to use that to your advantage. And then you're also ranged, for a limited amount of time you are ranged, so you can walk up and harass him too, because you are higher level and you are stronger. And you know that if you kill him or pressure him early and whittle him down to a low amount of health, and if you look at his potions and he has no potions, then he can't respond to you. Like, what I mean is, once he gets caught and gets too low, he has to he has to like leave the lane. You could have taken, now you could take this kill sooner, because if you could just like look at your damage, because you know how strong you are, because if you actually looked back here, you notice, hold on, not, is it this? You with one auto and one Q, you did that much. So if he gets lower, how does he get lower? Like, this is, watch the minions, because he hit you, right? It's the same thing. The minions are gonna hit it back. So he's this low. This is where I wouldn't flash for this, of course, but like he gets within range, because he's a little bit like too greedy with you. He should have just let Shyvana have it. But with this much HP, just one Q instantly kills him. You don't even need to auto with E. But you wouldn't be able to escape because Shyvana's like on you. Her mobility is too fast for you to escape. And the best thing to do is make sure you watch your jungler. Like, if you want to avoid this gank, because you seem to be like tunneling into the lane a little bit. So what you can do is you can watch where your jungler's clearing her routes. Okay, so I think you're rushing. What's the name of that item?
Mashers?
Yeah. I was thinking Morellonomicon for some reason, but the either or is actually not either or is actually not like an unviable option. You can have both, and that's max CDR. That grants you a lot of damage, as well as having the Death Cap and Rune's Hurricane. Okay, CSing, just like under a tower. Yeah, you don't always have to have your range turned on. I mean, like that was melee range. So if you press E right there, I would say like, well, you don't have to press E right there. It's not necessary. Like sitting in the back, walking back and forth, and hitting it like this, that's okay. Now, do you play on locked camera?
No, I just switch back and forth.
Oh yeah. That's no big deal. It's no big deal, but like you can do this. This is smart to do during team fights, because you know sometimes people lose track of where their character is, and even I'm guilty of this. Like in the upper elo, some people are like, hey, where the fuck did my character go? It's like hilarious. Yeah, good ward there. This is called this is called the intersection ward. That's what I call it, because then there's only two paths that the jungler can take to get there. Having both warded is essential. Okay, so I don't know why he tried to move forward there, but yeah. This is taking advantage of the range part of Kayle. What you're doing is basically when he tries to CS those minions that are the farthest back, even though he's ranged, you can still hit him under tower. Just don't like draw too much tower aggro. Good. This is called zoning. This is good. Oh, okay. So now you know he's 6. He's gonna throw his rock. Yeah. Okay. Good. You have to manipulate your way around your minions, because this draws aggro to your minions and has the potential to block block the boulder like this. This is good because if this lands on you, it's the same thing as the original boomerang toss, except that it doesn't go through minions like this. Just manipulate your way, because if you have minions, you can intimidate. You can bluff your opponent into coming in and fighting you. You can act like you're weaker, but you're in actuality you're stronger, because you know minions act like a second champion because of the amount of damage they can dish out early in the game. Later in the game though, like you can't really manipulate through the minions because people are stronger. Like you're able to clear waves faster. Like right now you can clear waves in like 2, 3, 4 hits, and the entire wave is gone. I also don't recommend like spamming laughs or taunts because you stand still while doing it. So it's not bad. It's just really risky. Okay, so his flash is down. Keep that in mind so that if your jungler ganks or you have kill potential, you know that their escape is down. And then you don't want to commit too much because if you can't follow through, you're in trouble. That's really solid. Lol. All I can say is like when you went forward, like there was 2 things that could have happened. If you took the way through the bush right here, this would grant you an escape, but you would run into an obstacle, which is Syndra. So you would probably have to burn your ult for that, but then the last thing that happened was you actually used your teleport in the bush, and Shyvana having no hard CC excluding her ult, that you can easily just like get out of there without actually dying or getting your teleport stopped. But means your teleport's down, but at the same time you wasted only just 1 teleport. Well, you used your flash too in an attempt to kill, but he flashed in response. So keep track of your opponent's flashes. It should be at 13:27. Flashes are 5 minutes. It gives you a 5-minute window knowing that your opponent's flash, aka their second escape, because this guy has 2 escapes. He has his hop and his whatchamacallit, his actual flash. That's his second escape. Now he only has 1 escape, and the only way the second proc of his first escape activates is if he jumps on a champion or something like that. Good, keep that bush warded. For the pink ward, I wouldn't place it in the try, or I would actually just keep it in the river so that you can stop it. Like what I mean is like if you cover it to the river, it's gonna last a long time. You're gonna get value off of your ward. Whereas if you put it in try or just save it, it's going to like not be it could not be like you lose value on your ward if you put it in the try. Now she came through river because you notice how what's his name? You notice how Gnar suddenly like becomes aggressive when you're bullying him in lane. Okay, oh, well, thing is, okay, so right here, let's take a step back for real quick, because always want to take a step back. See how he's always being so defensive, right? Like look how far back he's playing, but always keep track of his rage bar, because he's not, like, that's the difference between there's a difference between Mega Gnar and Little Gnar. Little Gnar's base stats are really bad, but his harass in lane is pretty strong. And to make up for his like weak state, Mega Gnar comes in. He's melee, he's a little bit slower, he's a little bit but his base stats are big. He's beefier. So looking at your opponent's rage bar is also a thing. This is just a Gnar matchup. It's the same with Renekton, and sometimes with exception Tryndamere as well. Because Tryndamere, if his rage bar is high, his damage is higher. Whereas Renekton, if his rage bar is higher, his spells will deal extra damage or have an extra effect, such as armor shred, longer stun, more healing on his opponents, etc, etc. So knowing that Gnar's rage bar is full is basically okay. I should back up. Now the thing is, he is melee, but when he's Mega Gnar, he has the potential to do this. Yeah, he has kill potential is what I'm trying to say. He can't kill you 1v1 because he knows that you have the ability to kite him due to the fact that you're ranged. But if he's suddenly aggressive and you start kiting him forward, then you're gonna be in trouble because he changed his patterns. Now, the 2 things could have happened. Like maybe he's just crazy and he could just go aggressive without even having the Shyvana there. That's possible, but that's kiteable. So always consider kiting backwards instead of going forward, because you actually move forward, which puts you in a dangerous spot to get fully ganked by Shyvana. See how you're moving forward. Instead, you don't even have to harass him because he's actually really durable. His base stats are much higher than people expect, and a lot of people are guilty of that. Like I'm guilty of playing like Irelia, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna whoop this guy's butt. But in reality, what happens is like I end up getting my own ass like harassed down. I'm like, what the fuck? Why does he do so much damage for this big piece of crap? And in all honesty, it's just because his base stats are much higher. But then once he reverts down to mini Gnar, he has to build up his rage bar again. And you can take advantage of this. I mean, like, what you can do is you can, the more you hit him, the more rage he gets, kind of like some kind of masochist. And what happens is every time you hit him, if you hit him enough, he becomes infuriated, and that'll transform him to Mega Gnar. You can force the transformation of Mega Gnar. You can force him to gain all his stats, and then make him lose the bar, and then come back. Once he comes back to regular Gnar form, you can just keep repeating the pattern. Because if you force him to come to Mega Gnar form, what it does is it makes it so that he has to play differently. Because Mega Gnar and Gnar are basically like two different champions. They got two different kits and two different ways of being played. Where Gnar sits in the back and plays passive, whereas Mega Gnar is generally aggressive because he's melee. So he has to play differently because you're ranged. So always consider movement, your opponent's patterns too, because he was, I mean, like, he's calm, he's like scared as fuck, and then suddenly he's aggressive. Something's gonna be wrong there. You can just tell based on how people move. Like, eventually you'll learn how to bait people too. Like, what happens was when your jungler's like nearby, generally what people do in the lower elos is they make it way too obvious that oh, there's a jungler nearby, but people don't detect that. Like, the opponents are really unlikely to detect that there is an actual jungler there, even if like the patterns change. Like, they wouldn't be able to detect that. Oh, okay, he's playing passive now. He's suddenly aggressive. Something's wrong here. They wouldn't see that. They would just see the guy moving up and down, and they would probably fall for the trap. I believe I have a clip somewhere where I'm playing Renekton, and basically I am playing passive in lane, and my jungler announces that he is coming, and what I do is I don't move at all. I play the same way I played all the time. The only difference is I stand near one minion because Renekton has the double dash combo, and I use the double dash combo to gap close. There's like no difference, and then it's a smoothly executed gank, and that's the only difference is because I just pretended like you basically pretend that your jungler is not there. This Gnar isn't good at that. Like, this Gnar like, you can tell the difference between like when the jungler is there and when the jungler is not there. Even if you don't have it warded, you can still tell. Okay, so he's gonna ward. He's caught out of position if you catch him here. He has no way to escape, so because his flash is down. Actually, wait, no, it's up because it's been past 5 minutes, way past 5 minutes. He hasn't used it again. That's a free kill. Good job. Since you guys are already up here, just shove the wave, and you should probably back. Get your boots. You have teleport. You have two options. You can, since you already took the tower, you can continue pushing with your team. I mean, yeah, you can continue pushing the top lanes and just get ready to teleport to team fights. The only risk being that you have to avoid the Gnar, Mega Gnar, not regular Gnar, Mega Gnar way of stopping your teleport with his ult, and joining your team through the use of teleport versus just splitting top. Because if you join your team, you guys are looking for early sieges. You guys are looking for more towers. You're gonna capitalize on your lead in lane, showing that since I already won lane, let me help you guys win your lanes and stuff like that. Rather than just like, okay, why is it me? How come he took so long to get there? That was a really long time to travel to your place. I mean, like, fuck, just use teleport now to defend this tower. Okay, he just traded inner. You can continue pushing, like I said, or you can group with your team. But it's the best thing to do right here is to group with your team because your team seems to be in trouble. They're trading small time, but you can assist your team. You should probably switch your trinket out. It's highly recommended that you switch your trinket out so you can control the map more. Because if you ward up their jungle, it means that you have more presence in the game. Keep track of that flash. That's 4.5 minutes. That should be you add 5 minutes, then you subtract 30 seconds, so it should be 19:20. It's Nami, huh?
Is it because is there a mastery that lowers it? Is that why it's 4.5?
Yeah,
oh.
It's the cooldown mastery. It drops it by 10%. Flash cooldown is 300 seconds. 10% of that is 30 seconds. So just subtract 30 seconds from 5 minutes after you add the 5-minute timer. Now I know it's probably just a Nami flash, but like the fact that she can flash bubble or some shit like that, or flash heal flash Mikhail's to save her ally that's just there. But if you ever catch the Nami, you can tell her that tell them that there's no flash so that they don't have to like extend the extra effort to catch Nami off. And then when you really know, you should be able to tell when a person's about to flash. I mean, they're walking towards a wall. So what I generally do is when I expect a flash, what I do is I just shoot everything over the wall when they should be doing the expected flash time. That's a good heal. That's a good Zhonya's. Yeah, you should be regrouping with your team. Your heal's down, so you don't wanna overextend too much. You wanna keep your allies healthy, while at the same time keep yourself above 75% mana if you're gonna help your team siege. You guys cannot team fight yet because you don't have your Twitch. You need your Twitch to team fight because he's consistent damage. I mean, once Syndra blows her burst, what does she have? She has to land her balls, whereas Twitch just needs to sit back and autos. With Rat-a-tat-tat, he has massive range advantage, and he can just sit in the back line and just like sit back and just do 80 carry positional things. It's very straightforward for Twitch. If he's ever in trouble though, the best person to ult would be to ult the Twitch if he's getting focused, because LeBlanc's burst, as you can tell, like when that Syndra got dangerously low, someone had to burn a heal. I think it was, I don't know if Syndra has heal. Yeah, Syndra has heal, so she had to blow her summoner spell just to stay alive, because there was potential of her dying in the brink of the moment. So you see that stuff's happening. The best thing to do is teleport immediately, because you're not looking at the map right now. You're just like farm. You are pushing the lane, but you have to commit too much to split pushing if you actually want to make it effective. Since the inner turret's already down, you should actually be grouping with your team to help protect and defend the tower. But right now, this is a late teleport. What happens is when you come here, there's nothing for you to actually do. Instead, you can just you can just push this wave, but that doesn't really do much. They're actually going to be able to secure the dragon because Vayne is nearby, and Vayne is going to be able to split push. So you don't want Vayne. If you see Vayne split pushing again, you should be the one to counter it, because not only is it because you have teleport, but also because you've already taken the responsibility to dominate your lane. You don't have really any more obligation to stay up at the top lane. Like at this point, even if you tried staying up top lane, you're not like Tryndamere or Jax. Those like hyper split push carries. The reason why it's like I'm mentioning Jax or Tryndamere is because those guys have like a way to like duel people. Whereas Kayle, you actually have to sit back and kite. It takes longer, but you can duel people. It just takes longer for you to build up. Whereas Jax and Tryndamere can just like right click you to death. Whereas Kayle actually takes more micromanagement of your mouse. Oh yeah, you're also not purchasing wards and potions. You should just purchase like two health potions and one sight ward each back. Generally, that's what you want. You don't want to just, because like, you had 175 extra gold in your inventory when you came down to mid lane before you went back to top. You just had that extra gold. Just give your team that little map advantage so they don't get picked off by someone like LeBlanc or Nami, Bubble, or Gnar, or Mega Gnar Boulder or something like that. Because LeBlanc burst is really it's like really hard to react to, because it's quick, and it's like Syndra burst, except Syndra's burst is she's visible, whereas LeBlanc burst is QR peace out, and then or QW repeat R peace out. Good Vi ult. She's gonna have to hop back, or she just stays there. Okay, good ults on Vi. Keep the well, he's fine. That's good positioning on you. Good ult on Vi because she's tanking the tower. Because, well, I mean, the tower does cumulative damage, so the longer she stays there, more damage she's going to take. Turn on your E. Should be hitting the tower. Should be moving in between your autos. And then, yeah. Because when the tower is very low, you have a, yeah, like this. You have a potential pick off. That's easy, okay? Yeah. Don't overcommit your resources to someone. Like, you were gonna try to get another hit on that. Just think, if Syndra doesn't get the kill, it means that one, she's too weak for it, but also means that like you don't have to spend that extra resource going in for that one extra auto. I mean, like, it's either she gets the kill or she doesn't. Just let it go. Don't like commit extra, because if you commit a little bit extra, it means you have to go in deeper, and if you go in deeper, it means you're within enemy CC range. Stuff like, I don't know, a Ryze snare, if Ryze was on their team, would be able to hit you. Please Thresh, don't fly in. Okay, leave. God, that awful. Well, hey, she's out of position. That's a kill. I don't know why she's out of position. I mean, she got twitched, but that's not really worth her own flash. And know that Vayne, 80 carry, one of the most important targets that you can kill, has no flash. So keep that time. That should be 5 minutes. It should be around 25-ish. You put a 20 wave and a squiggly line to give your team a rough estimate of when your opponent's flash will be up, so that the next time, since the only thing that she'll have to escape is her tumble, provided that she has not auto attack. The tumble is the only way of escaping. So if she tumbles and autos, then she can tumble again in like 3 seconds, because that's how tumble mechanics work. Provided she has tumble, but it doesn't matter because tumble just involves you auto attacking. As for item builds, I'd still recommend the Rune's Hurricane. There's nothing wrong with going Lich Bane, of course, because you got a huge amount of burst if you go Lich Bane. Some people generally like to max heal. Second, just because you get the the mobility boost and bigger heals. Bigger heals for bigger sieges. So that's beneficial, but it's player preference, of course. Like it's not one way. Like you can even max heal first for max mobility and winning trades, or max E first for lane dominance. It's very dependent on the player. You want to Q first. Well, nowadays it's the amplification on the damage is gone, but there's no way he can. Oh, that's trouble. Oh, you didn't need to flash there. You don't want to flash if if there's like too many people on you, because then they can just chase after you with autos. But you can notice how Vi's pinging. This is called compensation. If your team is actually able to damage the tower in exchange for your tower, then your death was fine. Like it's no big deal if you die, because you drew a lot of resources for them to pour. Like they poured like 3 people all the way up to top, which means that your team should be able to take this tower no problem. There should be no reason that your team should not be able to take this tower, but there is a reason why your team isn't able to take this tower. It's because Twitch is deciding to go bot, and Twitch actually, well, the only reason why Twitch should be going bot is to actually clear the waves to get an item lead, and he's level 11, whereas Vayne can't see the level, but it doesn't matter because Vayne's dead. Vayne gets picked off. You can defend because you're here. You have your ult in 9 seconds. Turn on your E and just sit back and kite. Auto whoever you want. Doesn't at this point it doesn't matter. Shyvana, Gnar, doesn't matter. But you make sure you want to clear the minion waves too, so that they can't take the tower. Turn on your E again and just start hitting. It's very short cooldown. She has no escape unless she ults. Good, she ulted. Don't keep track of ult cooldowns because that's not necessary for Shyvana. It's fucking Shyvana. Who cares? Alright, now they are gonna have to escape. You can keep pushing the wave. You don't need to recall. If you don't recall in base, because it's faster to walk. So you can clear this, keep going. Clear this, push it out, go forward. Ward the bush in your jungle, like where the blue buff is, so that in case you get like mega ganked, it's gonna be a problem. You want to keep pushing, because if it ever comes down to it, like they might, because remember that Gnar has teleport, and he does build Triforce, so he might just teleport in, proc a bunch of Triforces, and then proc a bunch of procs off his Triforce autos, and then switch to Mega Gnar and just like hammer it down and then escape. So just be aware of that. And then you want to push out at least 2 or 3 waves. Cannon minion wave is even better, because then that helps your tower, and you just keep going. I mean, like, there's no point in joining your team now, because there's nothing that you two can do like to stop them. I don't know why like the difference between a good thirst and a bad thirst is whoever flies, how effectively you fly in and out. Okay, so now this is where you would buy two wards, one pink and one regular, or 3, 1 pink and 2 regular, to control the Baron area, because you want that side of the map warded. You don't want to see it dark, because if you see it dark, it means that they could be planning it. Like right now, at any point, LeBlanc could come out of any one of those bushes up there and just throw a full combo on you, and if you don't react fast enough, like without ulti, then you die. Either you die or she kills you. Or either you die or you live, but you burn something while living. So Dragon's down, give a rough estimate of it. It's about 30 something. Yeah, like they gave your rough estimate 6 minutes. Well, they don't know how to math. It should be 30 something, or like very close to 30 something. It's pretty terrible. Inhibitor turret. No, you don't want to get that. You can't get that, because if you go up there, because like the more you push, the closer you get to it's like the deeper you push, the easier it is for them to send resources to defend, because it's so close to their base. It's not like the middle of the lane where they have to run their ass all the way across the map just to get to it. They could just recall and walk straight to lane with the power of Home Guard. So that's why you don't want to split push like disgustingly hard. Because like if you shove all the way to the inhib turret, then it's like, okay, well they don't pour as like they'd have to commit 4 people to you in order for it to be like worthwhile. Because they're so close to the base, you're actually not going to get anything out of it. If you're sieging mid tower and then top inhibitor turret's down, you can't really do much. Like it's just like they're like so close by. It's not, the siege isn't generally worth. Now you see how they're close to the inhib tower, but you guys drew their attention towards the middle of the map. They have to regroup their way around just to get to the bottom of the side. See, that's kind of like that's good for them. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. Okay, that's a kill actually. Jump on it. Jump on it. Don't. I can't see anything. That's fine. Oh, minion manipulation. 2 OP. See how Thresh was in, like, the longer Thresh was inside the minion wave, the more damage the minion wave did to her. Like, Thresh isn't doing any damage, but the minion wave is actually doing all the damage. Problem is, lifesteal is giving her the edge, so she lives. Yeah. Again, this area has to be warded. She got one, it's fine. Just place it in the intersect, or the crossroads. Like, there's like a road where there's just one standalone bush. Put it in that standalone bush. And then this is where your sweeper would come in. You just you want to sweep out that standalone bush and the bush to the bush next to it. There's 2 bushes. As you walk down, you'll see it. Like that's the river bush. That's just like there. I mean, people aren't gonna gank you at this level. I mean, at this time, unless like all of them are Mia. Like you really want to look at the. You really want to be prepared. What's the worst possible thing that can happen? LeBlanc and Nar. Oh dear. Yeah, that happens. I mean, like, misclicks. I had someone who, I was coaching someone who flashed today. I mean, that's no big deal. See, now, the worst case scenario is coming. Thankfully, you had that area somehow. I can't see why that's warded. Is there, did you place a ward in there? Yeah, you did. Yeah, I didn't see you drop the ward. But, I guess that's okay. I mean, you escaped the big gank because it's LeBlanc. You drew their attention, etc., etc. You can take blue. Just don't let them. Don't let your opponents take it. If it's up and Cinder's not nearby, just go for it. I mean, like, well, there's nothing wrong with it unless she pinged, I'm coming for it. Okay, you have the Rift Scuttler under your control too. That's good. That's some good map control. You're working your way towards that Ruden's Hurricane, so it's nice. Straightforward. It's good that you're grouping with your team. There's nothing wrong with you grouping your team. It's good that you are grouping with your team. Okay, so you just got picked off. Be careful right here. So it's 2 minutes till Dragon because you guys have the rough estimate timer. So I guess Rift Scuttler is fine. Stealing their blue is not an option because it's not up. That's funny. But you need the sweepers here because this area could be warded, and you like maybe she already knows you're coming, but maybe your opponents see how LeBlanc is coming to regroup with the Vayne. You walked out of the bush, but oh my god, she knows that you're there. Oh my god, oh my lord, pick her off. You have to pick her off. She only has, okay, good. Now you can jump on her. Thresh is insane, but that's because he's mad. Ult her, good. Jump on Nar, never mind, because she's too far. She'll flash after you. That's the timer, but unfortunately that's not going to do much. Okay, so what you can do here, you need to keep this area warded because you can't see half the, you can't see where your opponents are coming. Like they don't know. Like I'm assuming that the LeBlanc didn't know that you two were in that bush because she was like, oh shit, she flashed. Because if she knew you were in the bush, she wouldn't have walked so close to it, and she would have just thrown her combo in a different manner. So but you don't know that. Like you don't know that she didn't know it was not that it was warded. If you knew that if she knew that it was warded, or if she knew there was a ward there and you didn't know, then she would use it to her advantage. She would call her entire team over there. And this is what sweepers are for. So it guarantees that, okay, there's no way they know that we're in this bush. We can ambush her, we can take her out of the fight, and then continue to win 5v4, provided that Twitch doesn't get picked off like he did right there. What you can do is, okay, good, group with your team as fast as possible. Meganar. Notice Vayne's positioning. Jump on Vayne because she's farthest away. Jump on Vayne. Good. Okay. Next person is Nami. She has no flash, as you already know, because she flashed for you. She has no escape. Just take the kill. Walk forward. Walk away. Easy. This is where pink wards come to place. You drop the pink wards in the middle of the fight because Vayne has stealth, so you can use it to your advantage. She's stealth. Where does she go? I know where she goes, you know. So if you drop the pink ward in the middle of the fight, it's kind of like how people counter Akali and higher elo. They don't buy just like 1 or 2. Like when my friend played Akali, they're like, "What the fuck, 3 pink wards?" He's like, "Yeah, they dropped 3 pink wards for you, man," because in upper elo, they know the threat of a Kayle. They know the threat of having a stealth champion, and you don't know if this Vayne's a smurf. You don't know if this Vayne is really bad, but the fact that she can stealth is still a threat, because you never know if she can just come out of stealth and get a lucky crit off based on RNG and single-handedly burst down someone with just like 2 or 3 autos. Like it can happen. I mean, like like there's been like it was in LCS, Corky or Tristana got like 3 crits in a row, and that single-handedly won the fight. You never know if they're gonna get 3 crits in a row, etc., etc. Bot lane is a big wave pushing. You have teleport. You should be the one to clear it as soon as possible, because when that wave builds up, you're gonna have to pour a resource down there to clear it off. Like it doesn't look like it's building up now, but it will build up because someone will always go bot to clear it. Like you. That's what they say. Push out the side lane, because the side lanes are always gonna build up and cause problems in the team fight. Keep an eye on the map so that you can see you can see if there's an opportunity for you to take to teleport. And of course, if there's no opportunity to teleport, then just don't teleport and just save it for a more optimal use. You should be walking to your. Did you disconnect? You should be walking to your team.
Yeah, I was having a bit of FPS problems halfway through.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Yeah, now you're good. Yeah. And yeah. Okay, I understand. It dropped to like 10 or 12, or 9. Dude. See how the side lanes are building up? What you have to do is you gotta clear them out. Because, well, the thing is, this is why you have to be the one to clear it out, and you have to tell your team that you have teleport. The reason why is because if someone else is the one clearing it out, that means that there's no way that you guys can contest for Baron. Right now, you don't have any vision on Baron. They probably could have taken it. It's highly likely, because with the path that they just took out, yeah, they took it. See? So what happens is, like, even if you guys did have vision, they wouldn't do it. But the moment someone shows bot, they do it. Why? Because bot is the farthest lane away from Baron. That's the first thing. Second is because if someone other than a teleport user goes there, that guarantees that they will not be in the fight. Because like if Twitch or Thresh go there, or even Syndra or Vi, sure, they'll get a shit ton of EXP and gold, but how the hell are they gonna reach? How the hell are they gonna get to Baron in time? There's no way. There's unless they have like home guard speed, there's no way they can get to Baron on time. So you guys lose based on based on numbers. And then if it's you that goes there, you have teleport. You can just appear there if some guy opts to ward. This is why vision control is so important, because when you have the vision, you have wards down on the place. You can teleport in, you can teleport behind them, and then turn the tide of the team fight, or you can teleport to the side and then just aid your team, etc., etc. There's a lot of options. Team fight flow doesn't work really well here with this champion, because it's because you don't have an ulti that can change the flow of the team fight. You just have an ulti that can change the outcome of the team fight by making someone live longer than they should have. Okay, Twitch is going to attempt to get a pick. Best thing he could do is go for the Vayne. Yeah, you want to ult. You want to watch Twitch's positioning and watch your positioning at the same time. I think that was I'm not sure who you ulted, but I know you ulted someone. Good. Kill them off. Always kill the closest target. Good. Cause your range, you have to kill the closest target. You want to get you don't want them to like just like you don't want to focus the big targets, because like if you go for Gnar, someone else might be on your butt and you don't really have an escape. You don't have a gap closer. You just have mobility. You just increase your speed. But since they're already on you, they probably have enough burst to like rip you apart and force you to back up during the team fight. Because when someone gets on you, you have to change targets to them, so they get off of you. So, like, just focus the closest target, which you did. That's fine. You focus on whoever's nearby. Just like, okay, I can attack this guy. Okay, I can attack this guy. Okay, this guy's nearby. Just keep going. Turn on your E, then kite backwards. No, you don't want to leave the tower. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, never mind. Too many resources coming in through mid lane. It's fine. It doesn't regenerate like it used to, so you're okay. Best thing to do right now, back up, buy items, and prepare for another fight. There is a chance that Dragon will be up, because if it's 30 minutes, then you add 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, so it's 36:30. You guys have 1 minute 30 seconds. Buy an item, sell your Doran's Blade, sell your trinket, get some wards in replace of your Doran's item, and work on your next item. Very straightforward play. You want to control that map area so you can come back from your deficit. You guys are a little bit far behind. but there's nothing that you can. There is something you can do to still win the game. Keep the Twitch protected. Good heal. He didn't click the lantern, but that's because everyone's stepping on it. That's good on them. Okay, there's nothing you can do to defend the tower. Like it's a big wave. This is why you clear out the side lanes, because when they have a big wave, it's really hard to counteract that. Oh, he reconnected. Rip. Okay. Be patient. Remember, if he reconnected, then he'll be available for the next team fight minimum. Now the dragon's up. Yep, that's correct. 36-30. Drop a ward over the wall. Good. You guys have vision over it. Now you need to know where your opponents are. Is Shyvana with them? No, but she will be with them soon. You guys can fight this. If you play your cards right, this is an easy pick off. Their jungler's not with them. Note that Shyvana is the jungler. If you guys try to rush down the dragon right now and she can't get there in time, you can easily steal it away. This is up to your team though. Like if your team has to do this now. Nami's gonna ult. Okay, Nami ulted. Now you guys can change the flow of the team fight. Keep the I guess you can keep Vi alive, which is the closest target. A lot of frames cut out there, but like the best thing to do right there. You guys took the dragon. You took the dragon. What you can do there is zone out the Shyvana so that she has to do something to get over there, because she's just walking all over the backside, but that means that she's not in the dragon pit. So what can you do? Keep her out of the dragon pit so that it guarantees that someone, aka your jungler or your AD carry, or maybe even your mid laner, will secure the dragon because they have smite advantage. You get it? It's called zoning. You want to keep them out of the fight. It's the same, like a really good champion doing this at Baron Pit is Orianna. Like I can name, like that's the one champion I can name, because Orianna could do this at the Dragon Pit too. You just keep you keep your ball at one area where the enemy team is standing, so if they cross over it, they get ripped apart by the shockwave. Yep, that's gonna happen. I mean, like you guys spent a little too long, like committed a little too many resources that were invaluable in order to try to get a tower. If anything, you should have just hit the tower a few times, but like you stayed too long, so you gotta back out after. Like if they're up within 10 seconds, just be really careful. In hit was enough, but afterwards you guys should have gotten map control. You have teleport. You don't have to teleport. But if your team pings Baron, you do have to. You gotta get there fast. Why? Okay, I don't know why she didn't do that, but okay. Get that Rift Scuttler. Make sure you get Get that big crab, because that gives you vision. Good. That's the one. Yeah. Okay. This is a rush down mid. You have to clear the wave before anything else. This is where wards come into play too. If you have your trinkets still, since you're not going to switch out your trinkets, highly unlikely. Where Vi is standing, you should drop a ward there. It's almost likely that they will always walk through that path to get to Baron. Keep the Twitch healed. If anything, don't heal yourself, heal the Twitch, because he needs the mobility to kill. If you heal yourself, it means that you have the ability to kill, but sometimes you may not have the ability to kill. Deathcap, Void Staff would be the last two items. Sometimes people even opt for Leandries for massive burn. Okay, Q. Keep the Twitch alive, just watch his HP. If he gets dangerously low, above 25%, you can probably drop the ulti. Good. And that's that's game. Good. A lot of problems with your team's grouping potential. You didn't use your teleport very often, but it's fine. I don't use my teleport. I use my teleport once a game. But the fact is that you have the impact of using the threat of having a teleport in general. It's the scariest part. Like you don't have to use the teleport the entire game, even to get back to lane. Just having the teleport is scary, because the opponents play differently. Okay, so things I can cover over this course is movement. If you remember from earlier, you can watch your opponent's movement if they suddenly start changing their movement patterns from passive as fuck to aggressive for some reason. Like, why is he being, like, I'm dominating him, or I'm pressuring him in lane, and if they suddenly try to fight back from that pressure, it means something's wrong. It means that there is something happening. I mean, like, they could bluff it out and there actually isn't anything coming to you. Like, there isn't actually a Shyvana coming towards you, but just be warned, like, to watch your opponent's movements, because when you watch your opponent's movements, you can eventually read them really well, and you're like, hey, I know exactly how you're thinking. You're thinking you're gonna gank me. You're thinking that their jungler's coming right now. You're gonna get this gank off. Nah, peace out, like that. That's how you would respond to stuff like that. And items, every time you back, you should be purchasing 1 ward and 2 pots. And if anything, since Shyvana came down to the try, if you see yourself getting ganked too many times, buy 2 wards instead of 1 and place them in 2 different areas so that you can guarantee more vision. So you have a bigger, you can, as Captain America say it, see better, see faster. And then let's see, ult timing. Your ult timings are fine. Just you know when to use your ult. You know the right time of using your ult, and whatnot. This matchup specifically is based on like passive versus aggressive, because notice like mini Nars are usually passive and they just sit back and throw boomerangs to harass, whereas Mega Nars are just really aggressive. So if you see a change in pattern, it means something is about to happen. So you should play far back. Like the only reason you should be harassing the guy is if he's very close to getting into Mega Nar form and just pressuring him under tower. But you should be safe because you should keep your you should be keeping your wards active. At the same time, you also be patient on skilling your abilities, because I mean, like normally I would also skill up E only because I push the lane first, and then you can hit level 2 before him, and then you can pressure him because you're level 2 and he's only level 1. But some people level up Q because when you invade, you get that slow, you get that CC that guarantees that your opponent has to burn a flash if you get the invade successfully off. Naturally. Other things I can name, item builds. Like I said, your item builds are fine. It's just that like I wouldn't rush Lich Bane first. I would rush the Runettes Hurricane because it gives you team fight DPS. It seems that you tended to group more during team fights too. So that's good. When you're split pushing, it's fine. You're fine. It's just that don't like when you split push, you don't want to like, because once you get that second tower, if you try split pushing again and you split push too far, that's overcommitting. Like you're overcommitting yourself to pushing all the way to the inhib tower. Whereas, like I said, they can the enemy team can just simply recall back to base, pick up 475 gold enchantment to their boots, and then just get to you like very fast. It's risky. It works, but it's very, very risky, and you don't want to take those big risks because like if you get killed and your team cannot secure an objective, you died for zero. There's no you died for no reason. You died in vain. Like you just there's nothing they could take out of it. So you don't want to take those big risks unless you can look at the map quickly. Like, hey, you guys need to do the dragon. I think I could draw their attention away from dragon, so yeah, you guys can secure it. I'll probably die, but if we get the buff, that's fine. That's pretty much the mentality of why people split push, because then you secure objectives. Good person to do this is Singed. Singed always like pisses people off and draws people's attention up to the top lane because he's just so tanky, and his kit is very obnoxious. So it's a problem. And what you can do to solve the problem is secure an objective. Like some Singes win by going 0-13. Reason why is because in high elo, if the opponents are smart about it, it's simple. You for every death Singed takes, you take an objective. 13 deaths, that means that they must have taken 5 dragons and 8 towers, or 5 dragons, 7 towers, and a baron. Because Singed keeps fucking dying. And if Singed doesn't die, well, the threat of having him split push the lane and clearing waves with his proxy farm Q is prevalent. Like that's the whole point of split pushing. Even if like you guys can't secure an objective, even if you guys do, I mean, even if they do pour all their resources on you, I mean, they're investing so much time in getting you far behind. But what about the other team? Your other lane should be winning. Like that's generally the consensus. Like what happens. Don't stand still too often because you want to pressure him. Because like you notice, okay, so right here, because it's really infuriating to a lot of coaches, like in general, when they see someone do this, because you're wasting time. Like this isn't how. The reason why Trick2G does it is because he's a troll. Like he's really good, but he has the fact that he's winning the damn game, and most of the time he usually draws people's attention out to that. Because like he's doing it on purpose to draw people's attention out. It infuriates a lot of people. It infuriates a lot of coaches. It infuriates a lot of players. But when you sit and dance, basically, like you're not pressuring your opponents. Like you like with this movement, you're pressuring him. Like you see how you don't even have to attack, but you're forcing him back because you have more health. You're a scarier threat because I'm healthier than you. I could probably take you to a few tower shots and kill you. Like, see how far, like, you didn't even attack him, and he has to play far back. He has to sit back and throw his boomerang in order to CS, because he's that scared of you. So why taunt? Why sit and taunt him when you can just walk back and forth and push him away from creeps? Because sitting back and taunting means you're standing still and you're not hitting the creeps, and he's just like, okay, he's wasting his time, so I can freely last hit this. Whereas you can just deny them 15 gold, because every bit counts. You know, every bit of EXP and gold counts early, especially if someone's being denied really hard. Wards and potions. Switch out your trinket for a sweeper. Even a scrying orb is viable, because scrying orb gives you like scouting vision. You could just deep scout without actually having to face check those bushes and dropping them down. So that's that. What else can I say? Teleport, just the threat of having teleport. Keeping your opponent's summoner's time. Very, very critical in the gameplay, because it gives you a window of opportunity for not only you, but your jungler and mid laner as well. Because then if their flash is down for 5 minutes, like I said before, their escape mechanisms are low, are like one of their biggest escape mechanisms is down, and at the same time that means that you have pressure in lane. You have more pressure than lane. Chew. Good. CSing like this. Oh yeah, skill order. It's player preference. If you think you need to catch people more, or catch people with your team's mobility, because you guys are a pick comp, I would have max heal, because you guys need to catch up to, like, it's very simple, because she needs to catch up to people to be able to ult them. Twitch needs to be able to move fast so he can get behind his opponents, sit back and use rat-a-tat-tat. Syndra needs to get forward because her range is pretty small. If you consider her ult, because her range is pretty small, and Thresh, you know, he has to go forward to throw the hook. So it just gets your initiations off a little bit cleaner and smoother if you have that little extra speed boost to help them out. Always be checking the map to see if there's opportunities to teleport, and define whether or not you can teleport effectively. This is where you got ganked, because his patterns changed. So yeah, keep an eye on your opponent's movements, and don't juke back and forth like this, because if you know his boulder's down, then he has nothing to throw at you. The only thing that's a threat is his Shyvana's Hadouken, but that doesn't really do too much damage. The only thing that really does damage is her burnout, because that's what jungle Shyvana's max. She chases you down. It's because you're moving in a zigzag pattern. Her AOE circle is able to just stick on you, and that's the reason you died, because you died to the fire. Like, if you didn't see it, you died to the fire. Like, I can see you die.
I was pretty afraid of the Gnar stun.
Yeah, the Gnar ulti is actually really close range, so you're okay with that. The fist down is also very close range. If you could, when you saw it, like, you saw how close range it was, right? Like, it's really thin.
Yeah.
So she had to heal. Twitch isn't there, so it was Syndra's heal verified. It means that you guys have a heal down. But one thing I could commend you for is not condemn, but commend you for is target switching. Very good. That's what you're supposed to do as a ranged champion. Melee champions are a different story, because like target switching is a different story when it comes to melee, because like when you switch targets, you have to define, is this target worthy to be is this target supposed to be the one I'm switching to? Otherwise, let me just stick on this guy. Because like if you jump on a support as a melee, you have to define whether or not that this support has enough CC to CC wasted on you so that you can switch to the next target. If they've already burned like half their CC, but they still have one really hard one that they haven't thrown out, stay on that target until they're forced to throw it out. For example, Renekton can switch targets easily due to the fact that he has the gap closer to be able to be mobile enough to just travel over. Where's the fucking team fight? That's not the team fight. It's like there's one before that, right? To here, it was like during mid. You guys got pressure. It's like right here, I think. Target switching is easily identifiable here. Like, let's see. All right. Okay, so she's under tower pressure. Clear the wave. Attack the minions. Sounds weird, right? Attack the minions, but it's because that means that like, you know, the more minions there are, the more the tower has to focus the minions, so that the towers don't focus the actual champions. Okay, Twitch is going in. This is where target switching comes to play. Keep an eye on him. He's vital key to the team fight. He's splitting up the fight. You guys initiate, the team fight goes this way, it goes one direction. This is flow. So now flow only goes in one direction. Flow only goes in one direction, but because you can't change that. Twitch is under pressure, Vi's under pressure. Oh, you ulted Vi, that's who you ulted. You stay on Gnar because he's the closest target. Now LeBlanc's the closest target, switch to LeBlanc. Hit, easy, move forward. The closest target is Gnar, go on Gnar. You can aim for Nami after if she stays within range. She's not within range, ignore her because she's not a threat. Don't overcommit your resources to getting that kill, because what the hell can a Nami do? Bubble you? Will that kill you? No. Will the tower kill you? Yeah. Can she clear wave with bubble? No. So is she a threat worthy to be chased after? No. So you don't need to chase. You can just push out this wave, and then you don't have to commit yourself, because like this is where the tab button comes in. Check death timers. If it's within 10 seconds of them coming up, they'll probably have home guard. They'll rush down. They'll get there in time, and you'll have to back up. Just consider pressing tab just to check death timers, just to check items, just to check presence. So you notice that one person's there, you should back up immediately, because if one is alive and the team fight just happened, that means their death timers are super close to each other, very, very close. Okay, I think that's actually all I can cover though, because I just reviewed most of the points that are coming in. Death cap is a fine item, by the way. There's nothing wrong with grabbing a death cap. Okay, so what have you been doing right is like that positional switching. It's just that there wasn't that many team fights for me to like give an example off of, but like it's because you guys aren't focused on like 5v5 full team fights. It's more of like small skirmishes and picks. Which is your team comp. It's fine. It's just that like a full 5v5 team fight would have to be a different story. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was mostly because our Twitch just decided that he didn't want to team fight anymore after Vi got his red buff. Like she didn't give it to him, so he got pretty salty.
Twitch doesn't actually need to be with you guys for most team fights if you guys have enough pick potential. You can just rely solely on Vi and Syndra because they have the biggest pick. The amount of hard CC those two alone contain in their kits can just wipe out a Vayne instantly. What can a Nami do? Like, I mean, she'll heal, and Vayne heal. That's the worst possible scenario. And then you just have to Q auto maybe a few times in your set. Here, this is the other thing, zoning. See how she's in the backline? She's not with them. How can she get there? She has a full rage bar. The only way she can get to the dragon is to forcefully ult over to the dragon pit. By forcefully ulting to the dragon pit in order to secure her own team's attempt at doing dragon, dumb shit. She has to burn an initiating ult, because that, you know, as you can't tell, if you can't tell already, her dragon form flying move is an initiation tool. It's one of the few initiation tools that they have. The others being LeBlanc double dash chain or dash chain. Second being Gnar full rage bar. Full rage bar ult reverse ult, and Nami bubble / tidal wave. And well, you want to walk over here and just keep her occupied so that she can't do anything and she has to ult over. But in that time, you guys are in a position to just secure the dragon and pressure. I mean, like, they don't have a stun or anything. Maybe a Nami bubble, but provided that she lands it, because it's a very difficult skill shot to land. Target switch to Shyvana, good. Very straightforward. Yeah. And then after this gives you momentum, and when you have enough momentum, you guys can carry through on forward with the game. But the other thing is to make sure you switch out to sweeper and trinket, switch out yellow trinket for a sweeper. It grants you control of the map. It also verifies that you can get something off of here, because you can pick people off. It's part of your team comp. Always consider that. Like, if you guys have like a 5v5 team comp, this would be a different story, because then you guys want to look for fights, you want to pressure them as a 5v5, but that's a different story. But yeah, this is where you guys overcommit. At most, you could just push this wave and ping like 4 times to tell them to back. So you guys can't take this tower down. You want to get your money. You have a 1,080 gold. You can just spend it right away, as soon as you guys safely recall, of course. Alright, before we go, do you have any questions?
No.
Alright, So if you feel, you can feel free to just record more and send me any more videos, like because that's what you added me for. I'm like, it's been about like a fucking month or two, and I'm like, this guy added me, and I'm trying to just remove people that just don't want it. Yeah.
I was just on a 2-week break, so I didn't have a chance to do it, and then my fraps was acting up.
Yeah, not a problem though. It's like, it's not like I have to like force you to do it though, cause like it's just like if you take the offer, then might as well just like get what you need to know if you want to practice improving for the next season. Okay. All right. You can feel free to record more and send me and ask if I'm available, and I'll let you know if I'm available and whatnot. For more sessions. If you need to look at it, the YouTube channel I sent you is my channel, so I can so you can wait, did I send it to you? You can review your session, like you can rewatch it later on if you want to, if you need to relook at it if you forgot any points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Like it'll be up by like, let's say 1 to 3 days, because there's other sessions too that I have to upload in order, because it takes a while for them to be rendered to the program right here, because they're about an hour long or so. But yeah, you could just look for your session, and then it's top lane. It'll just be coaching, your role, what lane, and then League of Legends, and then the champion name.
Oh, alright, thank you.
Alright, yeah, no problem. See you around.
See ya.